everybody.
Hi, friends. Well, from beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah.
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
Where we, a couple of wackadoodle atheists, try to make sense of religion and politics and, whatever else there is in the world here in these United States.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up on the show today, Dan, we have a kind of a fun conversation about... you brought up this thing about a sex club here in Salt Lake.
There's some new clubs in town.
Yeah. Registering as a religion. We're going to get into that. And so, why did they do it?
Sex clubs, religious sex clubs. I think it's the wave of the future.
Oh, that sounds brutal.
You sound very excited about the whole thing.
You can have your religion, you can have your sex club, but come on.
Frank is rushing off to join as we speak. We'll see a quick cut, and then he'll be back after he's joined up.
But first, there's some other things that have happened in the world.
Yeah, we got some news.
News of the week.
I'm going to start us off with a story out of France and or Spain, depending on where you want to take this from.
Okay. And
the angles of this story are vital. Depending on who you ask, very different things may have happened in this story. And I think that's part of the question here, part of the interesting thing about this story. Because if we look at it from the angle of French ministers and a group of French counselors, camp counselors, the story is about a Spanish airline, Vueling Airline. I don't know how to pronounce that airline. But Vueling Airline kicked off a group of young Jewish kids and their counselors who had just been to Spain for a camp. And it's looking very anti-Semitic-y to them.
Right. Okay.
The other side of this equation, the other angle that you could come at this from is the angle of the Spanish airline who kicked off 44 minors and 8 adults because, according to them, the kids were out of control and were like messing with the plane's emergency equipment and interrupting the safety spiel of the flight attendants and whatever. So here's the thing. I've seen French teenagers before. I cannot imagine getting onto a plane. This is obviously nothing to do with the fact that these people were all Jewish. But getting onto a plane with that many teenagers, period. But French teenagers? I'm sorry, France.
This isn't anti-Semitic. This is
I'm
anti-Frankite.
Yeah, exactly. No, okay. It's more anti-teenager than anything. Because let me tell you something. I was a teenager once. And I was obnoxious. And the rest of the teenage, I went on a choir trip at one point, and we were okay behaved, but you get 4 or 5 real troublemakers in a group of 44, and everything's going to shit.
Yeah. Well, and I guess also it depends on the quality of adult supervision. Like these 8 adults, they might have, how drunk were these French adults, right? Like you're going after the French teenagers.
Well, listen,
like how
kids
much
are
wine,
only as in
how
control,
much wine had they already had that day, right? Like that's where I'm going to go.
We are going full fuck the French here. All I'm saying,
I know our listenership numbers in France are really low, so let's go for it.
We're fine. Here's what I'm saying. When I lived in London, briefly, I lived in an area that had a lot of French. There was a lot of French in the area. I don't know why. and they had their kids, and these parents would not control these children. I would, like, kids in a store. I would be in a store, and these French kids would be riding their little 3-wheeled scooters in the store and just ramming into people, ramming into my legs.
Oh.
In front of their parents.
Yeah.
And like this happened specifically. I remember a kid just like rammed into me, and I looked up at their parent, and their parent just didn't do anything. So it is entirely plausible to me that there was no anti-Semitism involved, and that these were just, this was just an obnoxious group of so many kids.
And I don't want to talk just specifically about one group. I want to talk more broadly about how easy it is to, especially like I know this is coming from as a gay man, right? How easy it is to be quick with that call, right? And that somebody did something based on your identity, and unfortunately, it happens far too much. Right. And that it is absolutely for real, and that you are being singled out, and the call is being made because of prejudice and bias and whatnot. Like, totally real. I'm not trying to take away from that. But sometimes it's not.
Well, and
as a member of a minority group, you do have to be a little cognizant that, that maybe it's not right. Maybe you're just jumping to a quick conclusion, and the danger, because you're outraged by the way you've been treated.
Yeah,
but maybe it was just because you were French.
You were an asshole.
Maybe it was anti-French behavior.
I just think, it could well be. This is the problem. There are so many confounding factors in this story. How could we know? It may well have been anti-Semitism, but it seems like there are other explanations that are very plausible in this case. Yeah. And the problem is, when you wave the flag of this was homophobia, this was anti-Semitism, this was whatever. And I think anti-Semitism is particularly potent right now because so many people are trying to stifle discussion of Israel's treatment of Palestine.
Right.
By flashing the anti-Semitism card.
Yeah.
That I think it dilutes the real moments.
Yeah.
It makes it easier to dismiss honest, real accusations of anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
Because he cried wolf.
Yeah. I'd like to know more details.
Yeah. Particular thing,
we can't really weigh in on this. We're just sort of like, you're just using your own prejudices to shift this over to it being these were French teenagers, which is dicey in its own right, Dan.
No. There's some prejudices are just true.
But I want to know what are they pointing at other than we're Jewish as what happened?
Here's the
was
thing.
Said by the flight attendants. Who were the flight attendants? Right.
And we don't have a lot of those answers yet. And one of the things that happened was that when the decision was made that they were not going to be allowed to be on this flight and that they were going to be disembarked from this flight, one of the counselors claims that she was quite brutally removed from the plane, meaning she had bruises on her arms.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That sort of thing. Do I know how much she was just... I mean, you're the one that said she was drunk, Frank. So do I know how much she was being a lunatic and they had to grab her and drag her off? Because usually if you just stand up and walk away when they tell you have to leave, you're not going to have bruises.
Yeah,
you have bruises because you're fighting.
Yeah.
And you don't have it's tricky. Nobody wants to be kicked off a plane.
Yeah.
Least of all, if you have to still deal with 40 teenagers in a foreign country or whatever, but it's a mess. And I'm not, and literally please understand, dear listener, dear viewer, that that we're not actually coming down on any side here, other than just to say there's a lot of, it's a messy thing. And the fact that the airline claims that there's no way that their people could even know that this was a Jewish group. I think that's probably disingenuous, because generally speaking, a group this size, Jewish people are kind of very fond of their, what Dan McClellan would call costly signaling. So, yarmulkes and various outward signs of their affiliation.
Right.
But maybe none of these kids were wearing anything that would indicate their affiliation. In which case, it's just a group of obnoxious French teenagers. Yeah,
which, as you've said, is bad enough.
Is plenty. Is plenty. By the way, I did just say the word viewers, and I want to jump in here and point out to our friends, to our listeners, that we have started to do video. And that we're trying to get our YouTube channel to be a thing. We've had a YouTube channel for years and done
of sorts,
and done nothing with it.
Well, we weren't doing video; it was just the audio from the podcast feed being fed to YouTube.
Yeah,
and we had a couple videos that we'd posted through the years, but nothing. Nothing like what we're doing now.
So we're making an attempt. It would be useful. It would be helpful to us if you paused the show right now, went over to YouTube, and just looked up Thank God I'm Atheist. It's at TGI Atheist. And just subscribe, maybe watch a few. You could watch the rest of this episode there if you want to see. We apologize for how we look. Sorry.
We've done our best.
God helped us. God made us this way. It's not our fault.
I took a shower.
Well, yeah, we're both we're clean. So don't judge.
That does for you.
Right. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind liking a few things, subscribing, that sort of thing, that
leave
would
a
really
comment
help.
If there's something that you like.
Comment a lot.
Yeah.
Like what we'd love for that to be sort of a place where y'all can chat with each other and laugh about things great. And stuff.
Yeah.
So build some community over there. Help us out. We'd appreciate it. That'd be great. All right. What's your story?
Well, Dan.
Yes.
You've heard of the Shroud of Turin.
Oh, yes. That absolutely incontrovertible proof of Jesus that is just absurd and stupid.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess I don't need to do this story. No, as for those of you who are not familiar with the Shroud of Turin, it is a shroud, a sort of a funeral wrapping, right?
Or it purports to be
that, right? That is claimed to be from Jesus's burial,
right?
So it's like his burial covering, right?
And it has an image.
Yeah, there's and so the idea is that his visage was burned into this shroud, right? And it's sort of, and that it has survived these 2,000 years hence, right?
Wow. I'm pulling up a
discovered
picture of it just so I can look at it.
It sort of came forward in the 14th century as a relic, or at least that's when it kind of hit its fame, because clearly it existed the entire time.
Obviously, right.
But it was first sort of recorded. Its existence was first recorded in the late 14th century. And there's really been controversy ever since as to the veracity of this thing.
No.
Even though it still is sort of the prized holy relic in a cathedral in Turin. Yeah. Hence the Shroud of Turin.
Right.
Anyway, so there have been all sorts of, I guess back in 1989, there was some carbon dating done that dates it to between 1260 and 1390 as
they
the
were
origin.
So sure it was going to be date it back to the year one.
Super
or
old.
30 years. They were so sure.
Well, there were some really high I guess, high quality photography done of the shroud back in the 30s, 1930s. Sure. And so we have like these really good images of it. And so we know exactly what it looks like. We know what the imprint of the supposed Jesus face and body looks like. And so a 3D digital designer in Brazil by the name of Cicero Moraes, he specializes in historical facial reconstructions. That's sort of his thing, I guess.
Okay.
He used his modeling software to compare how cloth drapes over a human body versus how it drapes over, or sort of how the image appears in the shroud.
This is not going to go well.
And so he had two models. One was a 3D body, and the other one was sort of a low relief image, which is what it looks like. It looks like it's just sort of stamped on there, right?
Yeah.
So a low relief sculpture, the image itself would pretty much be flat and then rounded on the sides.
Right.
So, so not a lot of surface area for the fabric to curve around. Right. And so people have already pointed this out, that it looks like it's just like an image that's sort of straight burned on.
Yeah.
So like a 2D image, which is the shroud, interacting with a 3D image, right?
Yeah.
You would expect the 2D image to wrap around the 3D image,
right,
and to get sort of a wider image, right? So if it's an image of the leg, it's not just like a straight on photograph, right?
Yeah.
It's literally, you get to see the imprint of the entire rounded leg on the 2D image. So anyway, so he models this all out, he puts it out there in the world. And I guess if nothing else, it's just one more piece of evidence that is disproving the veracity of these claims.
I just I love how people get so wrapped up in the shroud has to be true.
Yeah.
And they get so wrapped up in it, in like, as though if the shroud were proven to be false, if it were proven to not be the actual shroud that Jesus was in, which it has been 100 times over. It was, it has been absolutely proven not to be that thing.
Right.
But they act like that's going to prove their religion isn't true or whatever.
Right.
It's like, you can let go of this one.
Right.
This one's an easy one. What are you doing?
But they feel like this is proof of, even if the shroud was 2,000 years old, and even if it had been wrapped around a real body.
Yeah.
Right. And it somehow had this image. The image being burned into the shroud is kind of the I guess the miracle part, right?
Sure.
There shouldn't be an image, right?
Right.
But let's just say all of this happened. You still don't know that it was Jesus Christ.
Right.
Yeah.
We can't DNA test for Jesus.
Yeah. And this guy, I actually like
this
guy.
They tried.
They really want some of his DNA so that they can like Jurassic Park him.
So that they can then clone Jesus.
Yeah. And then we have like, you can go to a zoo.
Can I tell you my
you
favorite
can see
part?
Jesus
exactly.
in his natural setting.
A whole herd of Jesus is running free out in the wild. Can I tell you my favorite part about the shroud?
What's that?
It's that his whoever very obviously just painted this thing onto that piece of fabric realized that they didn't know what to do with his ding dong. And so his hands are very carefully placed, crossed over his crotch area.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense. That's smart.
Is, of course, literally anyone at home, if you want to, try lying down on the ground and just putting your hands, crossing your hands over your genitals, and then act like your muscles are not doing anything anymore and see what happens to your hands. Because hands don't stay.
But he's wrapped. So his hands were wrapped into that position.
Okay.
That's an easy one, Dan. Like I've got an explanation for that. But you're right. Like somebody was like, well, we can't show Jesus's junk. We can we can make a fake face, but as soon as we put his junk on this thing, that'll forever be either well hung Jesus or not well hung
Donald Trump Jesus or whatever. Yeah. Anyway. Oh Lord.
So so that's a new development with the Shroud of Turin, the never-ending saga.
Yeah,
that should have ended a long time ago. It just, I mean, you say the way that they hang on to it. I find it shocking that this cathedral still has it as their like holy relic.
Yeah,
that's the remarkable thing to me.
But we know, we know that holy relics are bullshit, and the church knows that holy relics are bullshit. Because like they'll be like, this is a finger of Saint Stephen, but there will be like 15 different like churches that all have a finger of Saint Stephen, and eventually
it's usually Saint Thomas. You usually have Saint Thomas's finger.
Oh yeah.
Well, doubting Thomas, he's the one who had to poke Jesus.
Oh, right.
So usually the finger is Thomas, but I'm sure there's some Saint Stephens.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you can't all have all the things, and people just
do, Dan.
They do.
That's the miracle of it.
It is the miracle.
That's why it'll never work for you, Dan.
Because I close my eyes to the miracle. Is the problem.
Yeah, it's such a dark world that you live in, Dan.
I shut myself away from it. All right. I'm moving us on to Illinois. We're going to go to Jefferson County, Illinois, where a beautiful headstone, it's a 10 Commandments monument, was placed in the county courthouse.
Okay.
And of course, this is a perennial issue. This is something that the right keeps trying. And frankly, at this moment in United States history, I think you and I, Frank, have gotten to the point where we just have to accept that the right's going to keep winning on all of the worst things for a while. And it's all good. And like the Supreme Court will not help us at all. They're on the wrong side of every bit of history. Our current Supreme Court is just awful. And so and not at all interested in the America that's described in the Constitution or any of that sort of stuff. They are interested in a theocracy. Anyway, there's some good news. Rather than fight all the way up to the Supreme Court to keep their idiot Decalogue, this county courthouse has just removed it.
Oh, what an unusual turn of events.
Right?
Because they could win this if they wanted.
They could.
Yeah.
They could.
But it costs money.
But it's Illinois.
Yeah.
And Illinois, I think the governor of Illinois is probably a Democrat, ? I'm not sure. Okay. I mean, this is a county thing, but counties don't have a lot of money to fight these sorts of things.
Right.
And so, and it would be an expensive fight. So for now, anyway, people going to court will at least not have an outward representation of the unfairness with which they will be treated if they are not a practicing Christian in Jefferson County.
Well, all right. That's a nice development.
Yeah.
A strange piece of news where things have gone in the right direction.
Yeah. Just ever so slightly.
With these things.
Right.
In the United States right now. Well, Dan.
Yeah.
Tennessee.
That's a state.
There was a pastor over in Tennessee, James Neal Gill, 83 years old.
Ooh.
Oh, he's the former director of the Sumner County Food Bank, and he was senior pastor of the Liberty Baptist Church. He's been sentenced to 12 years in prison, Dan.
Oof.
He pled guilty to felony theft. He's 83 years old. And patronizing prostitution. Okay.
Oh man.
And whose money do you think he used that he stole and that he used to pay for the prostitution.
This is why I said, oh man, because what it sounded like to me was, I want to root for this guy. If he's just using church money to pay a sex worker, I'm happy.
It wasn't church money.
Oh no, what was
the
it?
other one. It's the food bank's money.
Oh no!
He took food out of poor people's mouths.
Okay.
Out of hungry people's mouths. $300,000 worth of charitable funds.
$300,000?
That's a lot of blowjobs, Dan.
Well, I mean, he's giving work to needy people, to people who need work.
Yeah, to also,
my gosh.
Okay. the sex work, Dan?
Yeah.
He paid one of the food bank volunteers.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah. Go with what you know, I suppose. Oh my gosh.
Not a volunteer at that point. I'm sorry.
Right. Now you're a paid worker. Get that person a W-9 or whatever it is.
No kidding. All of this happened between 2020 and 2022.
Oh, yikes.
So, this guy, you gotta wonder, like, is this something that just like developed in his head as like a late 70s man, right?
Yeah.
Turning 80. He was staring down 80 and he's like, I've never paid a person for sex.
Oh,
right.
Trust me. That guy has paid for sex before. This is not the new thing is, oh shit, now I'm on a fixed income. I'm not making a lot. How am I going to keep up my sex worker habit? It's the embezzlement that's the new thing.
Oh yeah, you might be right there. Yeah, no, that's the new behavior.
Yeah,
the paying someone for sex is probably some old stuff. Anyway, yeah, he issued checks to himself and others. He bought himself
left a paper trail.
He bought himself a truck.
Oh
with
my
food
God.
bank funds.
Oh my God.
He paid for some home renovations. And some various and sundry personal purchases. Yeah.
You don't leave it. You don't do it by check. Are you insane?
Yeah. Well, anyway,
he's bad at embezzlement, and that's probably a good thing. We should probably be proud of him.
Let's see. The food bank was shut down in 2022. Liberty Baptist Church leaders uncovered his financial misconduct and reported it.
Yeah.
Now listen to that. A church turned somebody into the authorities for stealing money.
Yeah.
That's what'll get him to turn people.
Money's right. Yeah, exactly.
It's not if he had if he's
harming
molested
children,
some kids. If he'd raped someone,
they
would have covered that up.
We'll handle that internally.
That's where we're,
That's totally an ecclesiastical issue.
You steal our money, fuck you, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
Like, that is, like, I saw that and I was like, that is choice.
It's perfect.
Anyway, a search of Gill's home later revealed over $100,000 hidden in cash.
Oh my God.
And
he was Breaking Bad. He was literally like, they're going to find the meth lab at some point.
I don't think this guy broke bad. I think that he was always bad. I think he broke bad decades ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, they've recovered $300,000, more than $300,000 now that are being transferred to, I don't know if it's a new food bank, but another food bank that is this is some of the restitution
that he doesn't have any control over.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's going to jail, 12 years. He will die in prison. And I think that's a good turn of events.
Okay. There you go. Well, I have a story with some oddly similar details, which I don't like. I don't like that fact. But I am going to be talking about a 77-year-old man who was a pastor, or maybe perhaps a youth pastor. So 77 seems too old to be a youth pastor. I don't know where I got that idea. I don't know how youth pastors work.
Well, he's not a youth. It's not
I understand he's not
the,
a youth, but but can a 77-year-old really connect with the youths? Anywho,
it's a church, Dan. They'll do weird things.
They'll just
like
do
that.
whatever. Anyway, this guy may be connected with the youth in a bad way, if you know what I'm saying, and was arrested and was convicted. So this is a convicted sex offender who then was, after he served his time in prison, was reaccepted back into the fold by the church. This is in Alaska.
Oh, wow.
Bible Baptist Church wasn't about to turn their back on old Frank Boddicker.
And not Brother Boddicker.
No. Yeah,
he's a treasure, Dan. He's
uh,
so good with the kids.
He may have inappropriately touched an 11-year-old in 2021, but yeah, let's not hold it. He paid his time. He did his time. He paid his dues. Right?
Yeah, it's important. This is important, Dan.
Yeah. So when someone who knew of his story and of his conviction saw him at the Bible Baptist Church booth at the Tanana Valley State Fair, talking to kids and like handing out pamphlets for the church, talking to kids and adults, but like there with all of the people, she reported him and said, "Hey, no. And the fair was like, "Oh yeah, that is definitely like this church brought a child sex offender to the fair, and they kicked him out."
Good.
And they said, they said you will not be permitted to come back for next year's fair. This was in 2024.
Very important that they let them continue.
I don't know if they let them continue. But they were definitely told that they were removed. He was removed from the grounds.
Okay. And then they were told, you don't get a booth next year.
You don't get a booth next year. And of course, they reserve the right to not booth whoever they don't want to booth.
Yeah. Okay.
So, okay, fine. And then the Bible Baptist Church they threw a hissy fit and threatened to sue. And they're just like, this is discrimination against the church. You can't do that. Meanwhile, the other event that was canceled by the fair was a drag event. There was a ticketed drag show.
I was so on the side of this fair, Dan.
And they canceled that.
Oh, fuck this fair.
To which there was much response. They got lots and lots of letters and emails from people on both sides of the issue. A lot of people supporting the drag show and just saying, what the hell? Just let them do a drag show.
Yeah.
Wanna guess who actually got their booth back? Which one? Whether it was the drag show or the fucking church with the pedophile? I think you know. I think in your heart you know the answer.
Okay, Dan. I'm gonna go for it. They let the drag show back in.
They did not. No, it's the church. The church got their way, and because listen, that church has 35 years of history, and that guy did his time. He's lawfully reintegrated. So what's the problem?
Wow. The way things are going, Dan. The way things are going in this country, Dan.
Yeah.
As well as the way things are going in another country.
Uh-oh.
The world's smallest sovereign nation, the Vatican.
The Holy See itself.
Where a convicted priest is back at work, Dan. This fellow, Carlo Alberto Capella,
Okay.
He served prison time for child pornography that he was
Great.
caught with and
How
caught
delightful.
distributing, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
from his position at the Holy See's embassy in Washington, D.C.
Oh, God.
Where
Oh, God.
U.S. and Canadian officials wanted to, they'd gathered plenty of information and evidence that he had been doing these things. And they wanted to arrest him, but the Vatican invoked diplomatic immunity.
Those sons
and
of
they
bitches.
recalled him to Rome, and where he was tried and convicted.
Okay.
And served I don't know how many years, not that many, because this was all happening back in 2017. I think he was released in 2020. So 5 years. He served 5 years in the Vatican's 3-cell jail. He was the lone prisoner in their jail for 5 years. He was let out early for good behavior. I want to know how he could have had bad behavior.
Yeah,
right. He wasn't getting in prison yard fights with the other inmates. He didn't. There was nobody to shiv.
He didn't fling poo at the Swiss guard or whatever that were.
Yeah. No, he didn't do it. He was nice.
Here's the other thing.
They let him out on a work thing for a while.
You know that they let him out all the time. He probably was just walking the grounds.
He was actually released for work.
Yeah.
Starting back the Washington Post picked up the story back in 2021 that he'd been allowed to participate in a work release program.
Yeah.
Where he spent mornings at a small Vatican office that sells certificates of papal blessings for personal occasions. It says, I don't even know what this is.
Certificate. You can buy a blessing?
No. You buy the certificate. The not the blessing. Oh no, that would be be wrong.
I think you can buy the blessing. I think the
they
certificate
stopped doing that a long time ago.
The certificate just tells you that you have bought the blessing. It just proves that you have the blessing.
Well, anyway, like I said, he was released in 2022, and he resumed work. This has come out now, but he resumed work at the Secretariat of State in the Vatican.
Yeah,
at a desk job. He's not pastoring or ministering, whatever they call it, back in January of 2023. So he's been back on the job for 2.5 years. Right. And people are it's come out that he has like a nice desk job, and he does like translation of documents or something. Like he's doing his thing. And like victims organizations are kind of outraged. And and they acknowledge, they're like, normally we're representing like victims of priest abuse, right? And this is not that. This is somebody, but this does involve children, and we're very concerned about the Vatican's willingness to put these priests who are problematic.
Yeah,
that's
best, more than problematic.
At best. Problematic at best.
They haven't made some mildly sexist comments,
but putting them back in important roles, right? Whether or not those roles, I mean, a lot of times, just like 2 weeks ago, we talked about the priest in Toulouse, that was given when he was first released, was put back into a church. Right. And it was actually like a youth minister or something, if I remember right.
What we need to be, I think one of the things that we came to, and it was something along these lines, but I'm going to propose this. Okay. These people, if you want to keep them as priests, they can't be in ministering positions, obviously.
Right.
But they should be put onto, look, you're the Catholic Church. You own an island or two. You know what I mean? You put them on an island, like this is the monastery for wayward priests that have been that are gross. They're not allowed near anybody else. They do not get internet access.
Right. Right. No Starlink available.
No.
Right.
No internet
With this
access
remote
whatsoever.
place. Yeah.
No phones.
Sure.
No.
Agreed.
You get a landline.
Yeah.
And that's it. And they're going to feed you.
Yeah.
And they'll give you work to do. You can do your translating.
Yeah.
Great. Whatever.
Yeah.
Don't
rape each other. Right.
Fucking Don't rape. You can have as long as it's consensual,
sex, but don't rape each other.
No raping.
Right. No raping at all.
No raping, you guys.
We know that's kind of your thing, a lot of you. But
oh my God. But like, get them away from everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
And I 100% agree with you, Dan.
Yeah.
However, I would like to just do a little thought experiment here.
Okay.
Right. Which is
Death
you
penalty.
are a the Christian church, right?
Yes.
And one of the perhaps the core principle of Christianity is forgiveness, right?
Uh-huh.
Like it is crucial to Christianity, right? That's what Jesus's atonement, right? That's what it's for, right? And so these folks are totally hot on forgiveness.
Yeah.
Right. And do they think that they are practicing their core principle, right? One of their most important core principles by letting these guys back on the job.
Here's what I
are they sort of misinterpreting what forgiveness is, but thinking that, well, Jesus, we want Jesus to have forgiven them. It's not our place to continue judging, even though it definitely most is. Is that what they're up to?
I don't know. What I would say is that a lot of theology, and frankly, I think theology is always bad. It always works out badly. Sure. Every time I think about, there are like philosophical principles, but once it becomes a theology, everything goes staunch ways.
Okay.
But I think that the concept is that Jesus forgives everybody. So let Jesus do that in the afterlife. That's fine. Jesus can forgive them. God can forgive them. If they repent, that's an afterlife thing. We have to deal with these people in this life here.
Right.
And so you got to protect others from them here. Forgive them if you want to. Forgive them while they're on the fucking island and leave them there.
But the victims are the ones who get to forgive.
Right. If they want to. Or if they're capable of it.
Yeah,
but they don't have to.
They're the ones. That's their call.
And forgiveness isn't,
you're
right.
Not the
forgiveness
Pope's call.
doesn't belong to the church.
Right. The church doesn't get to forgive.
No.
Right. Not on your behalf.
No.
Right. But I'm just... that's the only thing I can think of is that they have this warped sense that they are the ones who do get to forgive. Right.
Everything is warped. The whole thing is warped. Their sense of all of the things is warped.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. If you would like to tell us your warped opinion about this or any of the things that we've talked about, please feel free to write into us. podcast@thankgodimatheist.com is the email.
Or you can call us and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442. We'd love to hear from you. Stick around. There's more show coming up.
Well, Frank, we had some folks write into us and call into us. Mm-hmm. So that's fun. I'm going to start us off with Stu. Stu, who has written in to say, Frank and Dan, I'd be happy to kick in. You remember we talked about the parade, the Pioneer Day parade here in Salt Lake City, and how you and I should get a float in the parade. I think it's probably like the state fair in Alaska, and we will be cordially not invited, but we can try.
What if we went under false pretense?
That's the key. I think that's where we come from,
and then we somehow get ourselves kicked out.
I love it. I love
because
the idea. Well, here's what Stu has
maybe
to say.
in trouble.
And I think
too.
I think all of our listeners and viewers should participate in the way that Stu is willing to participate. Stu says, I'd be happy to kick in $10 for a TGIA float for the SLC Pioneer Day Parade. I'll even reserve another 10 for bail money after the parade ends. And I think that is the right way to think
That's
about
the
it.
right. Yep. Yeah.
We will need 2 funds. So I'm very pleased about that. We have a voicemail, do we not?
We do, Dan. This is from a listener in Wisconsin, and she has a question about some changes that are happening on Patreon. And patrons should have gotten a message this week, sort of explaining how this transition to a new sort of support model is going to work. But she has questions, and we'll answer after the voicemail.
Okay, I'm old Peggy in Milwaukee, and I got the thing on Patreon, and you've talked in the show before last about switching up payment, but do we need to do anything? Can you just, for old Peggy, say something on the show about whether there's anything we need to do or whether there's anything we should do? And then I love the show, and I can be a happy person. Thank you.
Oh, no. Old Peggy.
I love you, Peggy, so much.
Yeah. You're probably not as old.
I know.
As you're letting on.
But old Peggy, thank you so much for reaching out. So the way this is going to work is up until now, for the entire time that we've had a Patreon, it has been a per episode donation. So you donate, you pick the amount of money that you want to donate, and it just every time we put out an episode, it cycles and you pay. And now it's just going to be a monthly thing.
Right.
So you, Peggy, will have to do nothing.
Right. Because what Patreon's doing is they looked at our history and said, oh, they consistently post every single week.
Right. And
so since there are 4 weeks in most months, we will multiply whatever number they were at. So if it was a $1 per creation episode, that has been turning into a $4 a month donation, right?
So really,
so they're just turning it into a flat $4.
Yeah,
and you don't have to do anything if you're happy with that number. And for anybody who's like put a little cap in, like maybe you did like a $1 per episode, but a $3 monthly cap. That monthly cap is now your monthly donation.
Right.
So that's it.
So it
basically really doesn't change anything. It's just
you shouldn't
semantics,
it won't go over what you've already paid.
Mm-hmm.
We might get a little less. So if you really like us and you want to help out, you could increase your donation, your monthly donation by a bit to compensate us.
The way the calendar works,
because
there have been, I think it's like twice a year you get like a 5
week year,
5 week
or whatever,
or a five Sunday month, right?
Right.
And it's how I kind of referred to it in the message, to kind of talk about that. But anyway, so sometimes you've been charged for a 5th episode. That won't happen anymore, right? Like it's just a flat monthly, whatever it is, whatever your donation is. And we have some plans for Patreon. We're going to kick those in after this transition happens.
Yes.
At the beginning of September.
So it'll look different. We think some exciting things are coming down the pike. Yeah. Some new stuff, some interesting stuff.
But for now, nothing. You don't need to do anything.
You don't have to do anything unless you want to.
Unless you want to. Can I start thanking people?
Not yet, because Todd wrote in about the same issue. So Todd said, "Good day, gentlemen." He must have seen the email that we sent out regarding
to be clear, it was a message on Patreon. So some of you, if your settings on Patreon don't automatically send you an email for direct messages, you may need to just go and check it and look at messages on.
We
Patreon.
will not be spamming you. Don't worry.
The whole email thing. It's. Yeah. Anyway,
you won't get much. Anyway,
that's why we're also talking about it on the show.
Yeah. Anyway, Todd says, regarding your alterations of your Patreon subscription model, I have a request to make. while I am fine with the switch to a monthly payment, would it be possible to continue receiving my allotment of magic powers on a weekly basis? Our listeners know that we do give out magic powers to our patrons.
Yeah.
Todd says, my concern is this, and it is most definitely a me problem and not a you problem. I have very little self-control when it comes to metaphysical matters, and I don't look forward to magic jonesing for the last couple weeks each month, having blown through the entire month's worth of magiosity in the first few days. Yes, I think we can accommodate that, Todd.
Yeah.
We could actually switch you to daily. It might be better. We'll discuss amongst ourselves, and then apportion your magic as we see fit.
Mm-hmm.
For we are the magi who in charge.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
So yes, let me start our thanking also.
Okay,
because I have someone to thank. Peter has given us a very generous one-time donation.
Oh.
And so now, Peter, I'm going to declare you a quick math here. I'm pretending to do math, but I don't actually do it. So I'm just sort of thinking about how high I think it needs to go. And we're going to call you a prophet, seer, and revelator.
Oh, wow.
Peter. So you are, that's a big deal contribution. We thank you
many
so
of
much.
Those. Yeah.
So go out there and prophesy boldly and proudly.
See some things.
Probably don't make financial decisions based on your prophecies, but if there's somebody in your neighborhood that you don't like, encourage them to make financial decisions based on your prophecies. How could it go wrong?
Indeed. And then Dan.
Yes.
A couple people in response to the new model made adjustments to their support.
Positive adjustments.
Yeah. So we have Dan, who is now a teacher.
Good. Excellent. Thank you.
We have Katie, who is now a priest.
Ooh.
And we have Belaz, who is now a patriarch.
Wow.
So thank you to the three of you. That's really thoughtful to go and up your support a little. We really appreciate it.
It is so appreciated. We can't tell you. It's literally the only way we make money here on this show.
It is.
And
and Dan, there is a new donor, a new supporter on Patreon, whose name is naughty. They picked a naughty name. So
say it.
Plug your ears, everybody, if you don't want to hear the naughty word. Cunt is giving us is supporting us at the deacon level.
Oh,
so
God
thank you so much,
cunt. That's lovely. And I believe we have one more person to thank.
We do indeed, Dan. We have our top donor to thank, our Lord and Savior, Alexandra.
More show coming up. All right, Frank.
Dan.
Listen, we teased it at the beginning. There are some new clubs in town. Salt Lake is really hitting the map right now, including one club. This is a swinger lifestyle club.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a physical place that people can. It's not just like a group of people. It's a physical place, and it's
there have been those. There are plenty of those.
Plenty of those.
Yeah.
But this is a
brick and mortar.
Brick and mortar. People
literally brick and mortar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we know where it's going.
Because we know where it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, there it is. There people are going there to have sex with each other, and that traditionally can run afoul of certain very restrictive blue laws. I don't know the laws of our state in these regards. It does seem to me that if grown-ass people want to have consensual sex with other grown-ass people, who the fuck is it hurting? Ain't nobody's business but their own.
Right.
But if we live in a theocratically charged legal environment, and
Right.
we do,
Yeah.
how do you get around getting raided or being, having the cops bother you or having the legislators bother you? Like, what do you do?
How do you get around the theocracy, Dan?
Yeah. You join is what you do. You join. If you can't beat them, you join them.
Yeah.
And so what they have done is organize themselves as a religion for legal purposes.
Wow. A sex religion.
Let's call it a cult. Can we call it a sex cult?
Is it a cult?
It's not even a religion. It's not real.
Dan, you can't say that.
I know.
It's totally real. It's 100% real. And they clearly they have to establish like core beliefs, and
I don't know what they have to do.
I know somebody who just set up a religion. Like, she had to declare, like,
well, here's
what she does and what does she stand for, and I think she had to like make up some sacraments and stuff.
Okay,
and so these people,
that's an episode we should be doing as well.
Yeah,
but that's not the one we're doing right now. But I will say that there's a difference. And that is that my understanding, and I have friends on the inside of this, and that's why I'm bringing it to you. I'm not going to give away anything about where it is or what the name of the thing is or whatever.
Okay.
Just because what
you want to keep it for yourself. I get it, Dan.
What they don't want is publicity, and it is a thing where people want privacy, and that makes sense to me. You know what I mean?
Maybe they shouldn't be going to a known sex club, because what happens.
They don't want that much privacy.
People stand out, like the media is going to be outside, out front,
right?
And you're going to have to come out sooner or later.
It's not going to happen.
And we're going to film you. We're going to get pictures of you. We're going to publish you.
No, Frank, we are not that media. We are different media. We're trying to avoid being that.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
Anyway, so what I understand is that they're not doing this for a tax break. So I think they might be organized, and I don't know if this is even possible, as a for-profit organization that just declares itself to be a religion. Because there's no reason why you would have to be like religion, for the longest time.
That works.
For the longest time, the whole Johnson Amendment thing, before they just decided it didn't exist and waved it away like a magic wand.
Yeah.
Was that, what would happen to a religion if it went afoul of the Johnson Amendment was just they would lose their tax exempt status. That doesn't mean they lose their religious status. They can still be a religion. But I don't know what the rules are. I don't know if the rules are. So anyway, I'm very interested.
Okay. Nonetheless,
the legal questions aside,
that's not what like stood out to me. Right. Like, I started thinking about like, is this essentially the country that we live in now, where in order to secure individual rights, your personal individual rights that aren't hurting anybody else, right,
and even collective rights, the rights of an associated group of people,
is the best way to do that now to form a religion, because a religion is the freest sphere in our society,
right? Religions can operate with almost absolute impunity. In almost every way, unless it's. But the problem is that when other groups have tried this, for instance, Native American religions have tried to say we do, like peyote is a religious sacrament for us. They get shit. Yeah, and there's pushback and whatever. Now I think,
but they established it. They finally did establish that they have the right.
Yes, that's true.
To take peyote in religious ceremonies,
and there are mushroom based religions.
There's one of those here in Salt Lake that I'm aware of.
Yeah,
They meet at a furniture store. I mean, where else would a mushroom-based religion,
maybe at a sex club? I don't know.
They gather and they sit around on all the sofas while they listen to. It's perfect, right?
Need to team up. Sex club isn't in operation all the nights of the week.
Should be at a mattress store. That's who they need to, right? Like that's the place that a sex club needs to, that, or at least I would imagine. I suppose
it feels like they wouldn't be able to sell the mattress.
There could also be like a playground equipment store, maybe, because swings and whatnot. And
yes,
I don't know.
I don't think that's what swinging means.
Jungle gyms. Well, there's sex swings.
Yeah, there are sex swings.
They could hang a sex swing from the jungle gym.
Yeah,
right.
There's so many.
I'm spitballing here, Dan.
There are so many possibilities in terms of collaborative efforts.
A whipped cream factory.
They have a dance floor. There's foam. They could partner up with some foam.
Wait, they have a dance floor at a sex club?
Yeah, you got to get in the mood.
Oh, this is wow.
It's not. Yeah, you go. There are sofas everywhere. There's an entire place to socialize.
Sure.
That's not proper socializing, not the naked kind.
Okay.
And then you go upstairs and you
do you rent a room? How does that work?
No. Well, it's mostly out in the open.
Oh.
I'm giving away a lot here. I have toured this place. I have been to this facility.
Dan Beecher.
And I will say,
shocked.
There is a sex swing. So
okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. There should be.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, that's where we're at.
Do they serve food?
No.
Are there snacks?
No.
Oh.
There is a bar, but interestingly, because of Utah's liquor laws, you bring your liquor, and you bring a bottle of liquor, you hand it to them, and then their bartender will make drinks. They have mixers and whatever. Their bartender will make drinks for you out of your liquor bottle.
Because they're not a bar.
They're not a bar. They're not licensed as a bar. So.
Right. So you just kind of have to brown bag your stuff in, and then it's totally legal.
Yeah. It's such a weird setup, but yeah, it is fascinating that you're right. In order to act with freedom, in order to participate in the freedom that we've all been raised, we are promised here in these United States. The only way to do it is to say you're doing it for Jesus.
Yeah. The number one freedom is the freedom of religion. Right. The most unfettered is the freedom of religion.
Right.
Regardless of what Christians would have you believe.
Right.
Right. Their persecution complex would have them believe otherwise. But it is clear, just considering, I mean, like the fact that you came forward with this story, I know somebody who just started a religion, right? And it's just like, people are flocking to this concept to secure their freedoms and their rights.
I have said for a long time.
She's doing it for like abortion type stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like she wanted to set up something that would help. I don't know how successful she's going to be at it, but that's one of the things. It's one of her goals.
I will be interested in hearing her story.
Yeah.
If for no other reason than I've said for a long time that you and I should be a religion. The TGIA should be a religion just because fuck all of you people. I want to participate. I want to be part of the, you know what I mean? We're already giving out priesthoods left and right.
Yeah.
Why aren't we why aren't we a religion?
Well, and then support of the show could be
tax deductible.
Tax deductible.
It's not like you and I are making a fortune here.
And the good that people would be doing would be
I think we should. Every time I bring it up with some lawyer who knows about these things, they're like, no.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Though they can never have a good why.
We had an email from somebody a while back, and he brought up some I believe it was a he, brought up some really good points. And I was like, yeah, Dan, we're dropping this idea.
I remain unconvinced.
We are dropping this idea. If other people want to like go out and expose themselves to the risk of potentially being found to have created sort of a fraudulent religion, right? Like if your goal is, even though clearly the goal of so many people who've started churches was to make money, right?
Yeah.
Like clearly that's what like Jim Bakker, right?
Yeah.
The man is in religion only to make money.
Yeah.
Right.
He's selling shitty buckets of freeze-dried food,
right.
for God's sake.
It's so transparent. But he's old-time Bible man, right? Old-time, old country Bible preacher, right?
Yeah.
And so like he gets away with it. But I wonder how long a Christian nationalist government, right? Like that seems like it's trying to install itself in the United States.
Yeah.
Officially, like how much they're going to tolerate.
Yeah.
These groups that have decided to.
I vote we push them to the
these
edge.
Freedoms.
I vote we push them until they come after us. Expose them for who they are.
You can take that on, Dan. You
You're
can do that as much as you want.
You're on the train with me. You're going to be on the boxcar right next to me. I'm bringing you down.
I am avoiding the boxcar, Dan, with every fiber of my being. Right. It is not how I'm going to spend.
All right. Well, there you go. If you would like to chime in, dear listener, as to whether we should start the Thank God I'm Atheist religion or not, and if you whether or not you have expertise,
we're not. Don't chime in on that one because we're not.
If you would like to chime in on that issue, you are welcome to do that. Thank you very much. It's podcast at thankgodimatheist.com.
Or if you would like to agree with me, please leave a voicemail message. 424-666-8442 is the telephone number.
Oh man, yes. Hey, to support the show, go to thankgodimatheist.com/donate and become one of the patrons under the new scheme.
Woo! This episode was edited by Roger Gowdy, and music was provided by the Red Rock Hot Club and Gordon Johnston.
Yeah, thanks so much for all of you tuning in. We sure do appreciate you.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank God I'm Atheist is a production of TGIA Media, LLC, copyright 2025, all rights reserved.